Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to take a closer look at my favorite semiconductor company, Nvidia. Right now it's sitting at $516, and it seems to finally have broken over that $500 price that many people were considering some form of wall in the past year or so. The company did announce a lot of new applications, solutions, hardware, software during the CES events that's happening right now, and many more articles are coming out throughout the day. So make sure to stay tuned to this channel as we are going to discuss a lot of them today, but in the upcoming hours and in the upcoming days, we probably might hear some other ones as well.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
So if you are an NVIDIA shareholder and this is your first time joining this channel, welcome. My name is Jose Najarro. NVIDIA is my number one semiconductor company in my overall portfolio. It's actually my number one portfolio position as well. I come from an electrical engineer background, and I do cover a lot of semiconductor stocks in this channel. So if we take a closer look at their newsroom, we can see that there is a lot of news coming out from NVIDIA from the most recent CES event that's happening right now. This is that consumer electronic show that happens in Las Vegas, where we hear a lot about the new consumer products coming out this year or in the future. And NVIDIA is making sure to kind of go all in with all the AI solutions. So the first big thing that's happening with NVIDIA, and I do believe this is what maybe some investors might be excited. This is old news if you've been following this channel. It's kind of been leaked, but NVIDIA announced the new solutions for their RTX 40 series line. That is the RTX 40 Super series. And for those that are not familiar with RTX, this is their consumer gaming cards, which are meant for gamers, but because of AI solutions, they're actually being used for a lot of AI workloads. I personally have a 4080 upstairs in my main station, where I do use it for some form of AI training. So we can see that NVIDIA announced the 4070 Ti Super, the 4070 Super, and the 4080 Super. And they're all ranging at different price points. For example, the 4070 starting at $599, the 4080 starting at $999, and the 4070 Ti starting at $799. So these are your top of the level products. And I do believe by NVIDIA kind of releasing these new solutions, it kind of gives me more of a bullish sentiment towards the consumer market, right? The consumer market, even though the data center is the biggest part of NVIDIA's revenue right now, the consumer market used to be its biggest, and it does seem like NVIDIA still wants to maintain some strength in here, so they're making sure to release kind of refreshes in these supercomputers and super graphics cards. Some other things that we have heard from NVIDIA is they did announce a lot of automotive innovation today, either themselves or through partners. Here are some on January 8th. We did see, for example, Mercedes-Benz is kicking off with a press conference announcing a range of exciting software solutions for their products. They are already using the Nvidia Drive Orin, which is their hardware CPU meant for the kind of automobile industry. They're also using NVIDIA's Omniverse and NVIDIA's digital twins and so many other NVIDIA solutions. So it showcases how NVIDIA is the top player, not just in the consumer world, not just in the AI world, but big players like Mercedes end up using a full vast stack of solutions from NVIDIA. Another pretty interesting one is CRNC. CRNC is introducing Column, which is a large language model that is meant for the automotive industry. And I do believe this is going to be exciting for CRNC. We are going to do an episode on CRNC later on. This is one that I've been slowly keeping an eye on recently because of this new shift in large language models. So we will take a closer look at that company in another episode. We see Lenovo, they are going to be producing, displaying vehicle computational roadmaps featuring the new products based on NVIDIA's Drive Thor. Drive Thor is NVIDIA's next generation of CPU processor to some extent for the automotive market. We have Polestar showcasing the Polestar 3, which is powered by NVIDIA Drive Orin. Now, some other solutions coming out from NVIDIA, I want to say, are focusing again in the consumer side. We are hearing about their gaming market. First, for those that are not familiar, NVIDIA has a clouding solution. You might heard of Xbox Game Pass, right? Well, NVIDIA has something similar. They have the NVIDIA GeForce Now, and GeForce Now allows you to kind of use a high-end computer by paying a monthly fee. So instead of you maybe buying a high-end rig that can cost you $2,000-$3,000, you can pay about $60, I think, every 6 months or so, and kind of always have the highest performing processor and computer in general. So within this, they are now offering day passes, and those will be available in early February, which will give gamers a fast pass to try out premium membership benefits before committing to 1 or 6 months membership. So I think that is insane. The day passes will be either $8 a day or $4 a day. And again, this showcases how NVIDIA is really seeing the consumer market is heading in a strong direction if they are continuing to increase their markets there. Outside, now another great thing about GeForce Now is they do mention that mobile gamers will soon have the option to set streaming resolutions to 1440p on Android devices. So even Android devices or mobile phones can become a AAA machine rig. So we can see GeForce Now is pretty interesting. And the great thing is these GeForce Nows are pretty much ran in the back end by their data centers and their GPUs. So right now, those servers are all over in North America. We can see them in South America. We can also see them in Europe and certain places in Asia and in South Africa as well. They did in Australia as well. They are kind of expanding into Japan, and they do mention that NVIDIA will begin operating GeForce Now in Japan in the spring, operating alongside GeForce Now alliance partner KDDI. So these kind of GeForce Now servers, it's just another way of giving NVIDIA's GPUs some form of solution outside of just your typical consumer player. Now we're going to focus a little bit more into generative AI. They did announce Getty Images releases generative AI by iStock powered by NVIDIA Picasso. So NVIDIA has numerous forms of AI solutions. One is a form of AI image generator in forms of text to image right now, but I do believe in the future we might get things like video generation as well from NVIDIA. So this kind of continues to showcase NVIDIA's AI solutions, not in just hardware, but also software and AI models. Going to the next one, we did get a new amount of laptops coming out with the RTX line. And some of these laptops obviously are great for content creators and AI engineers and AI workloads, and the list goes on and on. So NVIDIA is bringing out new NVIDIA Studio laptops, which are usually in the high tier market. These are laptops that usually cost over $1,000. Some of you might even be purchasing some for $1,700, $2,000, $3,000. And these cards and these laptops tend to have higher margins, so NVIDIA does make a lot more money from there. For example, I run this on my everyday life, the Asus ROG, not the G14. I use the G15, but it's probably the best laptop I've ever used, and they are releasing a new update to it, which is this one right now. Now I have to think about it. I just bought a new gaming, not a new AI desktop. Do I need a new laptop as well for my mobile uses? Now, we also heard of numerous EV, electric vehicle makers, choose NVIDIA Drive for automated driving. So NVIDIA Drive is their kind of software solution. Sometimes it's also powered by their hardware solution like NVIDIA Drive Thor. So they did mention that two big players in China, Li Auto and GWM, actually four. So it seems like Li Auto, GWM, Secure, and Xiaomi have all chosen either Drive Thor or Drive Orin for their next generation vehicles. Another kind of growth opportunity here in NVIDIA that I've talked about a lot, but I feel always gets underrepresented is the robotics platform. So NVIDIA showcased numerous solutions with their Jensen platform. For those that are not familiar with Jensen, this is the hardware that is used to power a lot of robotics. Here are some of the solutions that NVIDIA has. These are based on ARM processors. And the robotics market, I do believe, is small right now, but I call it maybe in the next 5 years, it's going to be very similar, maybe not to the extreme levels of the AI market, but it's one that's going to jump dramatically as we continue to see the evolutions of robotics, especially when you mix robotics, artificial intelligence, automation, and the list goes on. I do believe robotics is going to become a very, very important part of this company's total revenue. So they did kind of showcase that, hey, look, we have kind of a full stack software here as well. We have our AI Factory, which is obviously powered by their AI solutions, but they also have kind of those edge platforms, like I mentioned, like the Jensen modules as well. There are two other ones that I want to talk about today, and they deal mainly with the biotechnology market. So it does seem like Amgen to build generative AI models using NVIDIA's DGX SuperPod. So we can see how AI is not just in the kind of your typical generative text AI, but it's also being used in biotech companies. Amgen plans to integrate the DGX SuperPod, which will feature 31 NVIDIA's DGX H100 nodes, totaling to 248 H100 Tensor Core GPUs. And this is just one biotech company, right? We're going to continue to see investments like this go on and on from here. Another one, for example, they did mention that Recursion is expanding its supercomputer with more than 500 NVIDIA H100 Tensor Core GPUs. So this is all that we have for NVIDIA today, and one of the main reasons the stock price is up a nice amount, over 5% as I am recording, is there's just so much, and not just in the consumer market, right? So it definitely tends to be a good year for NVIDIA right now. Obviously, we're going to have to look at those earnings in the upcoming months when NVIDIA showcases and gives us guidance for the upcoming year. I'm pretty excited about it. So let me know what you guys think of today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.